Hello everybody! I'm sneaking on a little bit early for no reason other than that I can. Um, so, hang on, let me get my settings right here, opening my links, and we're going to kick it off. So, if you are watching this on YouTube, this is going to be one of 4 streams I do this weekend to promote my new release of my 8-inch round iStencils. I got a couple ladies joining me live in the chat. I have Jane, Orla, Nancy. Thanks, ladies. I snuck on a little bit early. I got wrapped up and I thought, well, I'm just going to get on it because I didn't want to stream too late. So I figured I'd start a little bit early. And I'll keep going over the information so nobody misses out. But here's your coupon code, ROUND20. Because these are round stencils, and you get 20% off the entire iStencils website. Let me get the windows arranged here. Not just my stencils, but 3,000 plus designs that they have on iStencils.com. The sale is good through Monday night, February 22nd. That's Eastern Time, Monday night. Like I said, 20% off the entire site. You get a free 8-inch exclusive, which this is the free exclusive design. Hang on. If you purchase $25 or more, and at least one stencil in that $25 is one of my other designs, you'll get this one free. And also free domestic shipping on any orders over $50, which is actually their standard deal on iStencils.com. It's always free domestic shipping on $50 orders. So, let's get started, shall we? Hey, Jane. Excuse me. I'm going to go through these real quick, and then we'll start to sling some paint and see how they print. Because as you can see, they're brand new. I'm just playing with them today for the first time, as you will when you get yours. Got my 8-inch round jelly plate. But let me just do a quick overview of these. This is the free one again. This is just called Oval Dangles. Let me zoom in a little bit. How about that? As we go through these designs, you can see a little bit more. Where does this have to be in frame? Right about there. Okay. There we go. That's the freebie. Set this somewhere that you can see this. Or not right now zoomed in. That's not going to work. Got to have some pictographs in that round deal. So there's my round pictographs. Right, and it actually prints in a circle where these are cut off like this, which matches my little rubber stamp of the pictographs I did in the round. So that's kind of cool. I have these kind of all sprawled out here. This is the lollipops. I have the 8x10 in this same sort of design in a different layout, but that was pretty popular, so I made them in a kind of a doily fashion on the round. This one is just I wanted some very open stencils for different techniques that I do. So this one I just called 5 round. If you remember, I have it in 8x10 called 5, and it's just 5 big open kind of freeform holes. But this is pretty cool for some certain kind of techniques where you want a lot of open space, but you want it divided into some sort of a design. So that's pretty cool. This one, for the circle lovers out there, is kind of a bullseye. And what do we call it? Bullseye round. What do you know? Here's some arrows. I don't know if Paula's on there yet or not, but you know she likes arrows. And this one's just called Center Stage Round. So I tried to make some of these so they're a lot more open and some not so open, so that they give a cool layering technique. This one I did with Barb Owen in mind. I'll have to make sure I see, let her see that. But she's got some hand masks, and I just always thought they were so cute, so I made a little hand stencil. And then this one, what did I call this one? Alien Sun. That's kind of got the little tips of the dangles, right, with just this little stripe bit in the middle. These are 2 masks. I'll show you those in a bit. I'm going to cut these apart to show you how I'm going to use them. And this is the Dangles doily. There's a lot of people that really like the other dangle stencils, so I wanted to pull one in on the round series as well. This one is just called Pyramid Doily. And you got to have some circles. And that one's called Icy Spots. Not icy spots, I see spots. I see spot run. Oh, mercy. This one's Arches. Kind of reminds me of Saturn there in the middle a little bit. And what do we have here? The hearts. Right? And this one's called Come Together. Really hard to name some of these. Hey, Goof. The arrows were coming together, so that's where it got its name, for lack of anything better, because it's a lot harder than you'd think. This one is called Teardrop Daisy, because it kind of ended up looking like a flower. I used a different, this is the teardrop. See how open this one is too? I got another one with a lot of openings. Hey, Willina. Hey, Pixie. This one's called Teardrop Large, but I played on this same shape and elongated it. And when I got it all arranged, it kind of made petals in the middle, just by happenstance. So it kind of looked like a daisy. Hence the name. So you got to have a smiley face if you're going to do round stencils, right? Why not? Why not? And if you're going to do a smiley, why not a yin yang? Can't go wrong with that. And I did 2 versions of stripes. I love the stripe stencil that I have. I have a couple different ones. Hey, Helena. I made 2 different, let me show you side by side. Here's the 2 different versions, a thicker and a thinner one. Right, and I'm going to try overlaying these and see how that comes out. I don't know how they'll line up. It's a little offset, which is what I want. So I'm going to play with those together at some point and try them crosshatch like this too. But they're actually really versatile, the striped one. I use that a lot. Another version of the Dot Maze, kind of freeform, jaggedy rascal. And this was the exclusive from last time when I was just going to introduce the rounds. I called it Morse code because all the dots and dashes. So that's now in the line and open stock for that one now. And then this one is another version of the teardrop. This one's called Teardrop Doily. Right? So there you go. So let's get this, my little backdrop here so you could see what I was doing. I got finished with what I was doing a little bit early, so I thought I would just jump on here and not be so late out the back end of this. So, and since I'm going to be streaming Friday and Saturday and Sunday to try to promote the sale while it's valid, I thought, what the heck, I better get going. So let me zoom back out here. Oh, you know what I want to do? I'll tell you what I want to do. So I have 2 new masks as well, which I did not show you. So these are the masks. That's one called Create. Clever, huh? Gotta get up pretty early to fool me. So this one is just called Art. And so what I'm going to do is show you how I'm going to use these, and I'm going to cut off this excess border so I do have a true mask, right? So let's see, let's just have at it, shall we? So I'm going to take these, I'm going to cut all these little tabs off here all the way around, and we'll see what we end up with. So I'm doing this live. Never did this one before, so we'll just see how it comes out. So I want to take that off. I'm going to make sure I'm not cutting something that's going to make it fall apart. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? Sweet mama. There's one. And Fran from the UK. Oh, it's late for you, dear. Thank you for joining us. So those just coming in, let me move this over here. Coupon code is round20 in honor of all the new round designs. And that will get you 20% off the entire iStencils website, not just my designs, but the over 3,000 designs that they offer. As well as, if you're in the States, you'll get free domestic shipping on orders totaling $50 or more. If you spend a minimum of $25 and at least one of those designs in that $25 is one of my stencils, you'll get a free 8-inch exclusive design, which is this one, with your order. So, good time to take advantage of the sale. Can you guys hear Dave talking on the phone? He talks so loud. I have the door. He's upstairs behind a closed door. Oh, it's only 1:35 a.m. in the UK. What the heck? Behind a closed door. Bless his little heart. Oop, almost made la boo boo there. This is going to look a lot smaller when you cut off all that border. Oh, mercy. Got to get rid of the heater from under my desk. Hot flash. Oh my God. You're not kidding, Jane. That's what it is. Like, whoo. Turn the volume down there, big boy. Can't get my hands to work right tonight. They're cold. Down here in the basement. I'm going to get these as close as I can, and if there's any little edges on here, I'll go back when I get it free from the frame and try to... So I'm going to chuck this. Don't need that. Get that out of the way. Hey, Colleen. And so here's what you have left. Oh, I'm going to cut these off too. I don't want those little sticks holding those. So it's going to get a little more fragile, although this is really heavy mylar as far as stencils go. But you got to be careful when you're going to be rubbing on this and not, you know, flip up and bend these little edges that are out here. But if you're careful with it, you can get some really cool, funky results with a mask like this, which I hope to demonstrate shortly. Maybe I should have done this ahead of time. But I figured I'd show you how I'm going to do mine so you know how to do yours if you choose to order these. And what I intended them to look like. I gotta get my, where's my little, oops. Dave is working down here. He got me a television for down here for Christmas, and we had to install, he had to install, we have a, I'm in the basement, and there's steel columns, you know, just for support, and he boxed one of those in with wood, and we'll mount the flat screen on that and put a shelf on it for the cable box. But in the meantime, to do that, he's got my area kind of messed up here with all of his tools and different stuff in the way, and I can't get to all my stuffs. got a couple little tips here that I missed. It won't really make a big deal of a difference, but might as well do it right if I'm going to do it. And it doesn't ship like this, so that it does hold up better for handling and, you know, and shipping and storage and unwrapping on the packaging and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, there we go. Now you can see what that's going to look like. Where's my other one? Create. Oh, this one I'm gonna, now see how this one is right here? I'm gonna actually cut to continue this point up into the mylar here, instead of cutting that line straight across this way. So I get one more, well, if I could cut a straight line, that'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? There we go. Scissors are great for this stuff. And let's see. Almost done, guys. We'll start slinging some paint here in a second. All right, let me get rid of most of this out of my way. Oop. Hey, Robin. I actually started a little bit earlier than my 9 o'clock plan, but I'll stay a little bit later than I expected. I thought at 9 o'clock, you know, being a work night and all that stuff, I would go to maybe 10:30 or so, but I figured I'd start a little bit early and try to go for a couple hours anyway. Yep. Okay, lordy. Here's the other one. So now you can see that you would get all these different designs around the edges. I didn't do a very good job on that. When you pull a print, rather than just the straight square rectangle or whatever. Hey, Belinda. Hey, Denise. Hey, Teresa. So we'll play with these in a little bit. I'm going to put these off to the side. Put these away before I impale myself. And I want to start slinging some paint and getting these round ones going, because I've been anxious to play with these, and I have not. I've waited for you. They're all nice and clean, so I have no idea how they're actually going to print. Whew. Pardon me. So, I'm going to put this code over here. Everybody coming in, the code is round 20. It's the usual deal for all my regulars. 20% off the entire iStencils website. A free 8-inch exclusive that looks like that. When you buy $25 and at least one of my stencils included in that. Hey, Lynn. Free domestic shipping on orders of $50 or more. And hey, Lisa, how's your husband? I was thinking about you guys the other day. And I'm going to use my 8-inch round jelly plate. I know that's a shocker. Did I finish talking about this? I got the attention span of a gnat, I'm telling you. Alright, let's just get going, shall we? And I'm just going to randomly rifle through here. And I want to print all of them, so we'll just start going and see what happens. Oh, he's back at work. Oh, that's great. That's great. That had to be a scary ordeal. And look, Oh, brand new brayer. So, when in doubt, start off with a couple of your favorites. A little bit of, this is Liquitex Primary Blue and Liquitex Bright Aqua Green. With a big old booger on that tube. And I'm going to dirty up my plate, dirty up a brand new brayer. Alright. Pull one out of the pot here and see what we get. Let's go with lollipops. Right on the 8-inch plate. Yeah, I bet you had to make some changes, Lisa, but all for the good. I know. No squeaks for now, Denise. It'll start squeaking sooner or later. They always do. And that one squidged a little bit and moved while I was doing it. But there you go, little round design. And I want to get a ghost off of there. Little ghostly print. Set these over here to dry and get more layers on them. And what I like to do, hey Jen, is make a little sandwich to clean this up, and then I get a little print on both sides. So there's the reverse, right? Put this one on here, and this is going to clean off some of the paint, the wet paint that's on the, hey Pamela, some of the wet paint on the back of the stencil, but this is as much as I clean my stencils, right there. That's all you're going to get. And that little thin layer that's on there is going to dry and not be a problem. And there's the reverse print. Kind of cool. So let's try another, shall we? Had a little tangle there. Hey, Debbie. So can you guys see that? I don't want to block that for people new coming in that might just pop in and pop out. If you're going to buy stencils, I'd rather you take advantage of that coupon code than not. So let's grab another favorite here, another booger. Now, you know, Pamela, you can, of course, use these stencils, and I'm glad I saw that, because I wanted to mention this. Because the stencils are round doesn't mean you have to use them on a round jelly plate. You can certainly use them on any of the round jelly plates, any of the smaller plates, the 12 by 14 plate, it doesn't matter. You can use them on any jelly plate, and for that matter, you can use them for any stenciling purpose that you would use any stencil for. You know, whether you wanted to, you know, make a card, or you're working on a canvas and want to drag some molding paste over the stencil to make some texture that you're going to use on a canvas, or, you know, you can be used. They're just fashioned with the 8-inch plate in mind, because I know that's a popular size jelly plate. And, well, why not? We can all use some round stencils. So here we go with the little bullseye action. And you know what? I'm not going to worry about printing these all just in the center of the paper. I'm just going to try to like print circles all over the paper. That's what we'll do. Oh, it does kind of look like baby rattles, Pamela. You know, I knew it looked like, so I call it lollipops for lack of anything better, but it always, like, I know it reminded me of something, but I couldn't put my finger on it, but I think that's pretty good. Yeah, the first one was called Lollipops. This cardstock kind of feels heavier. It's, I think it was 110 pound that I always get, but for some reason it feels, oh, you know what? It's a different brand, but it should still be the weight the same. Ooh. Look at you, pretty colors. Woohoo, little bullseye. So let's do, let's pick up the ghost and put something off center on this. What's the worst that can happen? Right? It's just a piece of paper. Another little layer on that one. Yeah, not a big fan, but we're going to put a pop of black on that eventually, and it'll be scrumptious. Yes, I said scrumptious. And there's a little reverse right there. Wipe the back of my stencil off because this is what I do. Not everybody does this. That's how I do it. I do too. Well, I'm a circle fanatic, Jane, so I really like that target too. Oh, hello, yummy. Cute, cute, cute. All right, pressing on. Let's do something a little different here. This is different. I don't use this much. This is a, what is that? Dark ultramarine blue. It's a PBO, but it's not the PBO that's got the shimmer in it for the Dynacolors. Patty, what were the last two colors? That's a good question. I think it was Brilliant Purple and Light Blue Permanent, I believe is what I used for that last one. Hey, Rain. That's what I believe I used. So let's try. You know what? Speaking of PBOs, let's throw a little bit in there, shall we? Here's some blue-green. Can't go wrong with some blue-green. It's my favorite. Whoop. That might be too much paint. Now, wouldn't that be a shocker? Way too much paint. Not only is it too much paint, I've got a smaller plate, so I really got way too much paint. That should be a sin. I should be punished. All right, let's do, oh, here, I had it out here. Let's do some hands. I have to remember to send Barbara a picture of this. Hey, Judy Patootie. Thanks for joining. I think this might look pretty cool with this darker blue, with the Dynacolor in there. We'll see. You know, I've been wrong before. I know it's a shocker. Oh, look at that. That's cute, I think. These are the first time I'm seeing these print, guys, so I'm seeing them for the first time. Hey, Kia. CB. Hello, guys. But look at that PBO in there with that. This was Dark Ultramarine Blue by PBO Studio Acrylics. It's not a Dynacolor. It doesn't have shimmer. And then I used the Dynacolor that's called Blue Green. I don't know if you guys can see that on this camera. See where it says Dyna right there? those are the two-tone colors, and this one is blue-green. But that really gives it some contrast with that dark paint. Hey, Jean. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love that. I love you. Let's, I'm going to pick this up. Hey, Tam. So, if you guys are interested, the code is round20 in honor of the round stencil designs. And because you got to come up with something, so why not? That was a cool color combo, wasn't it? That's kind of cool. It kind of looks like their hands around a globe. Me likey. All right. Moving along. Let's use colors that I don't use much. This is, holy mama, Phthalocyanine green. Never heard of it before. Oops, where are you? I don't know if that's going to be too blurry. Don't know. It's a Liquitex, but basics, but ew. Booger. Booger alert. Hey, Paula. How you doing? You can see I haven't used that one before. Let's try that with a little bit of this. This is just a Hobby Lobby brand, I think, Master's Touch, and it's called Ocean Green. Let's try that. It's more of like a little flat teal. It almost reminds me of that raindrop color I use. Alright. Let's try. Oop, get off of there. This one. Oh, look, arrows. You know what? Let's go back and print over some of these now. That's dry. So I'm just going to kind of offset this and have overlapping prints. Hey, Queen. Welcome. Not wild about that color, but Jean would love that color. Jean loves some green. Let me see if I can get a little ghost on here, maybe. Is that wet? Yeah, it's still wet. Some of these smaller designs, you have to really work that thick cardstock down into them to yeah, that was a real, that started to dry. I think that paint's kind of old, actually, to be honest. Let's and I'm not trying to make anything in particular. I just want to, oh, thanks, Rain. I appreciate that. Lost my train of thought. Like squirrel. Oh, so just, I want to like, bleh, I want to let you see how they print, not necessarily concentrating on, you know, the final outcome on these, because I know whatever I come up with, I could throw some pop of black or pop of white on it. Oops, hello. Oops, that's a reminder for my meds that I'm not going to take now. All right. Let's do, we'll do something for Jean. This and this and I don't know if this is enough contrast between these three, but yeah, they all look different. We'll see what happens. I like to, you know, some people like to just put one solid color down, but I like to kind of mix it up. It gives it, I think, a little bit more depth. Oh, you know what? I should have put some green yellow in there. PBOs, huh? Never said I was that smart. This one's called I See Spots. And, well, I want to pick them up on a piece of paper where you can actually see how they print. I don't want to overlap too many of them. I should just pull each one on a clean piece of paper just so we can see how it prints. Ooh, I see spots. Do you see spots? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, let's see. I love that little guy. I don't want to mess him up yet. Let's put him on here. Let's offset him this way. Just to get that ghost out of there. Hey, Army's mom. Paula, you must have a round jelly plate. That's just a ghost on a ghost on a ghost, just layering up stuff there just to save paper, basically. And I'm gonna how'd I get two of those? That's weird. I don't remember pulling two like that. Yeah, Jean, Paula needs to learn the names of the stencils. Oh my, it's hard to name them, isn't it, Paula? Hey, Jelena. Welcome, that's a new name. Thanks for joining. I see a few new names out there. So, let's see. Now I got this cooked up enough that I can probably do a cleanup print. So let me show you. I mentioned earlier when I was showing you all the new designs, why I like to have some stencils that have big open spaces. So I'm just going to use my favorite man, Tight and Buff. Hey, Jan. To do a cleanup print. And it's not really that dirty, but it's dirty enough that I can show you a little bit here. A little Tight and Buff one here. Hopefully that was dry enough. I'm not paying attention. I just like to use Tight and Buff for a lot of cleanups rather than it just being against the white paper. It gives it a little more warmth. Again, just personal preference. Sometimes I use black, but depending on the colors, a lot of times I use the Tight and Buff. But this stencil, that looks kind of like not much of a stencil. I like it because of the organic shape, number one, but all that open space on there with just, you'll just see these little lines outlining it. When you're doing a cleanup print, you can make the cleanup print kind of interesting. I got it on here a little crooked. Oh well, I already sat it down. I got this little edge hanging off there where I didn't get it just in the middle. Hey, Kathy. So, it's when you're used to using the bigger plates and rubbing like this on it with a piece of paper that's hiding the whole thing. I keep rubbing off the edge of the round plate thinking I got my full 8x10 underneath there. Yeah, that one's called 5. Isn't that a clever name for that one? Oh, I amuse myself sometimes with these names. There were a couple, but I was like, went for days, like, what in the hell am I going to call this thing? 4. 5. So I'm rubbing really extra hard on this because I want this to be a cleanup print, meaning I want to suck all that dried up layers of paint from the previous pulls off the plate by having it marry itself to that new wet layer of the Titan Buff. Does that make sense to anybody new that might not understand that? Hey, Miss Allie. Hey, Janice. I see a lot of girls that are going to Maryland in the list here. I appreciate everybody joining. There we go. And it's cleaning up. See where it pulled up everything off of there? But now also see how cool that looks. Having the stencil pull the cleanup through a stencil. And this is trickier to do if you use a real fine, like if you did a cleanup print with like the Pictographs or something fine like that, you won't get to see all this interest of all those previous pulls and all the shapes in there as clearly as when you have these big wide open areas. But that's just me. And y'all know I'm a little crazy, so. But here you got the reverse of that cleanup, and I'm just going to do it over top of this. It might be too dry, but we'll see. Just a little bit will come off of the back of there. Can't hardly see that. Can't hardly see that, honestly. That was too light to put on there, but you can see a little bit of it on there. Alrighty, pressing onward. Let's do something with the free exclusive design. That's this one called Oval Dangles. You know my dangle designs that I do? I got a bigger one of those coming up here too. This one. Right? So, but this is the free. No, Jolena, we have 2 more spaces left that I could squeeze 2 more people in. Forgot what I was saying. Oh, this is the freebie. If you spend $25 and at least one of the stencils in that $25 is one of my other designs, you'll get this one free with your order. Groovy? Groovy. So let's, my hand's getting cold. I had something in mind that I wanted to do, and you think I know what that is now? I do not. So let's switch it up and start throwing some warm colors down here, or hot maybe. How about hot with fluorescent pink? And this is lemon cadmium yellow hue. Gives you a pretty melon color when it mixes. Almost don't know how to. Paula, are you in a position where you can put the link up to the survey, the second survey for Jelena? If not, Jelena, I'm going to, hang on, I'm going to type my email in here. You can email me at that link, at that email address, Jelena, and I'll get you some information later. I don't know if Paula's on a device or on her computer or whatever. Now this one I'm going to do on deli paper because this is a fine design and it's going to be hard to get cardstock. Right there, yeah, and she is on her tablet. No worries, you can just email me, Jelena, and I'll send you some information later. These 2 colors Hang on. Let me pull this before I yap too much and miss it. But if you can even see where this is going to pull fine on this, the deli paper is so thin you can get it down into those little creases. That thick cardstock is really difficult to get a nice clean print. You'll get something, but you won't get as crisp a print as you will with a bond paper or deli or tissue or something like that. See, that gives you a really crisp print on this thin paper. And I love deli. I use deli all the time and stuff. So Rain, these colors, they were both PBO colors. One was fluorescent pink and one is lemon cadmium yellow hue. That's a mouthful. Hey, Sherry. For the people just coming in, the coupon code is round 20. Same deal as usual. Meaning 20% off the entire website. I shouldn't say that with newbies here. They won't know what the usual is. And I don't want anybody to miss out. 20% off the entire iStencils.com website. Over 3,000 designs. So if you can't find something there, you're not really looking. Just trust me. And a free exclusive. This design is the free exclusive design. If you purchase $25, and in that $25, there's one other of my designs included. And if you spend $50, you get free domestic shipping. And the sale is good through Monday night Eastern Time, the 22nd. So you got days. What I always tell everybody to do when they go to that site, the site is so overwhelming. That's the reverse print. With so many designs. What I do is anytime I see something I like, I put it in my cart. And then before I check out, go to your cart, and if you're way over what you wanted to spend, narrow it down from there. But it's easy to lose track. Now, all my stencils are under my name on my pages. So mine are kind of separate. And some of the other designers have a separate page. But the ones that are strictly just the iStencils brand, they're itemized by like shapes, symbols, nature, stuff like that. And it's hard to go back and find one out of 3,000 and some stencils. So that's a good tip. Trust me. Trust me on that one. Let's see. What did I want to... I had something in my little pea brain that I was going to do. I wonder what that was. Let's do... That's what you do too, Lucy? I mean, Jane. I see that Lucy on there. I always want to call you Lucy. Yeah, it's easy to get lost in there. And you don't want to waste any valuable shopping time. But if you're a stencil lover, now's the time to take advantage of that coupon code. So here's the larger dangles. I'm going to go ahead and pull that. Set it down crooked again. Rats. My hands aren't working. I think they're too cold. They're not as nimble as usual. And I'm going to pull this one over top of this just to dangle on top of dangles. Because I can. Yeah, I think it came out cute with that, with those colors. Rain. You know, this would look pretty on tissue and then Daddy Van it and then just cut these little bits out and put them on a card or in a collage. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, let's dangle on dangles, shall we? And you can even see that coming through on the deli, right? You can tell when it's made contact. Like here it hasn't. And it just drops, like it falls right into those holes where the design is. There's not a whole lot of fight that you have to give it. And you can see where you're missing. And then you know where you need to go rub. Yeah. Dangles on dangles. Kind of cute. And let's ghost this puppy. Yeah. Don't think much of that combo going on there with that last one I put on there. And just getting the ghost, a little bit of print on top of that out of there. And now, a little cleanup action. Thanks, Jane. Hey, Ange. Yep. Almost had a casualty. There we go. What do you like? You getting another little build up down here for another cleanup print coming to you soon. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Pam. Haven't seen you for a while. Welcome. Beaver Dog is Pam. All right, let's do... I'm going to do this again. This was a cool combination. Paul, I don't know if you were here for this one. This is Studio, PBO Studio Acrylic, dark ultramarine blue. And I mixed it with the PBO Dyna blue-green. Mama, that was pretty. I'll show you the print. Here's the print that I did. Look at that. This is the stencil pole that I said I did with Barbara in mine. I'll have to email her. So this darker blue gives this Dynacolor something to bounce off of. Now don't go too nuts, Sandy. Don't hurt yourself, but do take advantage of the coupon code for sure. If you're going to purchase, now's when you want to do it. So let's, you know what? Maybe I'll do this. This might come off cool on here. Let's pick this up on here. Yeah, that is a pretty color, and I've had it. As you can see, I hadn't used it. I get these thinking I must have that paint, and then I go back and pull my favorites and my favorites and my favorites, and all this paint is just kind of there. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Hello, lover. Look at you. How stinking cute is that? Look at that color on there. Look at the color. That's pretty. I do like that. So let me shut my yap and keep pulling here while I still got. Oh yeah, I might even. No, I like that one. Ah. Let's pull this. That color combination I really like. It really, that dark, you know what? I don't think I've ever mixed like black with a PBO. I've put PBO on black paper and that's awesome. But with seeing how that bounces off that dark blue, I'm going to do one with black and blue-green. Was that blue-green or green? That's green-blue. This one is green. I'm sorry. That's blue-green. They are different. They don't sound like they're different. I'll show you the difference. You can see it a tiny bit in the tubes. I don't know how much it's showing up on screen or not. But oftentimes I'll go to reach for one and they look so much alike in the tubes, I'll have the wrong one in my hand. But they do perform differently for sure. I have to pay attention, Patty. You're going to ruin your papers here. Letting them dry. Ooh, look at that little cleanup. That's got a lot of depth behind that. Tweet your hands, that's a little hard for you. Oh, thanks, Colleen. Now what did I just say I was going to do? Oh, blacken. See, I'm telling you. Let's do something that's got a bigger opening. Let's try this teardrop one. Teardrop large, I called this one. Wasn't that clever? So let's, where the hell's my black? Here we go. Thanks, Jan. So, a little bit of black. And for this, I'm going to use the green blue because this looks really cool. You know what I might do? I'll tell you what I might do. I might use them both. That's going to be way too much paint, though. I'll try them both later. I'll just do this for now. Even that's going to be too much paint. I got to adjust my paintage for the smaller plate. But you can see where this black mixes with that. Pretty stinking cool, gotta tell you. Now let's see how much of that's going to be covered and how much is actually going to show. It all shows if I put it on black paper, but mixing it with the black paint, this could either come out really cool or really not so cool. Hey, PetU2000. It's iStencils.com and your coupon code is ROUND20. So let's see what we're going to get. I'm going to do it on tissue in case it's fabulous. I can use it in a collage. Let me get a couple pulls of this out of here. Oh, that's kind of cool. Right? I'm going to grab another one. I'm going to see it pulled some of the black off. I'm going to get more of the blue on this one. These are fun, I gotta say. I must say. Oh, hello, lover. You can't hate that. You can't. I don't care what you say. Impossible to hate it. So I'm going to just use another piece of deli and clean up some of this because I want to... Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try a patina print with this. So a patina print for the newbies here. It's what I call it because it kind of comes out if you get it just right, looking like patina, old patina metal, like how turquoise turns, how copper turns with that turquoise tarnish on it, or rust on metal. Still getting some of that flash on there. I'm just going to use this to try to clean out those holes because I want those as clean as possible. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this on here just to clean that off of there because I want this paint on here and I want it wet for the patina print the way I do them. Look how pretty you are even on there. Oop. Oh no, don't drag it on there, mess up my design. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to give this another blot. There was a lot of paint on there. This one is... good question. Teardrop Large. But now, and what I'm going to do is, since I already have blue-green on there, I think I'm going to put a little bit of this, which is the green-yellow Dynacolor. Just a little bit of that. And a little bit of the, wait a minute. I used the green blue. I'm going to use the blue green on this. All right. And now I'm going to gently roll this over the top. And basically what's going to happen is this is only going to show in where the holes were. So I wipe my brayer off, and then I'm going to come back with just the weight of the brayer, no pressure, and drag that over and let it pick up some extra paint. And you can see that design kind of coming through there, right? I'm going to use Deli because I think it's going to be fabulous, fabulicious. Either that or it won't, but either way, that's what we're doing. Oh yeah, Orla, my I just got another order of my last 2 sets in. I have those all stocked up. I'll have to work on another set to match some of my favorites in this round design. Oh, did I have to say hello, lover, again? Hello, lover. Look at you, you little rascal. Oh, I love you. Yeah, baby. Mama like. Mama like. Ha I like a patina print. I gotta tell ya. I'm warm as I'm reading the chat. I'm warming my hands up on my heater. I know, Ange. I saw Jelina's name, and first I thought it was you too. I think the devil got in me, Denise. Groovy. So let's press on, shall we? That's been going pretty well. Let's try. Oh, I want to try. Well, I want to try all of them, obviously. But let's try this one. This is called Teardrop Daisy, where I took that same teardrop design, but I elongated it and put all the points in. And when I did that, it created these petals in between the teardrop shapes. So it kind of looked like a flower. So let's do it in flower colors, shall we? Let's see. Let's do this. This is Master's Touch Primary Red, which looks way more like a magenta to me, but what the hell do I know? And let's do some red blue, another Dynacolor. This one's called red blue, red paint with some blue. Is the bottom layer of a patina print wet or dry? It's wet, Rain. It's wet. Unlike a cleanup print. Oh, I'm with you on the memory thing. Trust me. Oh, you could ask Dave. I think that's my husband's name. Just kidding. I do know my man. Bless his heart. Alrighty. It looks rather floral, doesn't it? Kate does skate. Hey, how are you? I haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you here. Alrighty. Oh, they do have a set, Paula. Paula's saying that PBO has a small 2-ounce set of all their acrylic colors. How much is it, do you know? But the minis, do they include the Dynacolors too, Paula? I'm not paying attention. I think this just scooted around on me a little bit. I'm trying to read the chat. Get close to the heater. Pull my print. Oh, kind of cute. Some little shimmer in there, but see how it looks like a flower? And it's just the spaces between all the teardrops. Pulled some of the black in here. Yeah, that's a bright color, isn't it? There's the reversey. All right. Moving on. Oh, here we go. Let's try this. Oh, my hands are cold. Oh, it's in Canadian art stores. Cool. When you say studio paints, do you mean the PBO studio paints? Oh, Craft-A-Lanch. Knocked all my stuff over here. My area is kind of askew with Dave working down here. He's got stuff moved. Encroaching on my space. All right, let's see. Looking at some other colors here. Oh, this is a pretty one. Let's get some of that in here. Dioxazine, that's always pretty. All right. Whew, now I'm having a hot flash. The heater's got to go. Good thing it's on wheels. Oh, maybe it's just one of their brands that's, because I've never had any trouble with the PBOs. At all. All right, I want to try something. I want to try something good. I'm just going to use this to clean this up a little bit. Or not. Well, if you're going to be that way, why don't we just try another cleanup print with another big open design. That's what we'll do first. Then I'll get rid of some of this red because I want to switch colors. Let me just do a quick cleanup here with some Tight and Buff. Oh, you know what else I'm going to try, Rain? That oval dangles, when you said about those colors, the thought hit me, and then I forgot, but then I just saw my paint jar sitting over here. I'm going to try something. Remind me to go back to the dangles, and just remind me metallic. So here's a little yin yang. Hi Sandy, thanks for joining. Hello, Decentino. If anybody's just getting here, there's a sale on iStencils.com. 20% off. Use the code ROUND20. If you spend $25 and have at least one of my designs in that shopping cart, you'll get a free exclusive, which I will show you right there. That's the free exclusive design. And if you spend $50 or more and you're in the US, you'll get free shipping. And the sale's good through Monday night, the 22nd. So this is a cleanup print, so I want to print extra, push extra hard and get it to suck all that paint off. Get that wet, tight, and buff down on all those little dry, crusty bits that are left on the plate from all the previous pulls. All right. Cleaned it up, and it's all on there, which looks kind of weird because we only got the one teardroppy shape. You can kind of see where the line picked up on the outside. But look at you. Let's try something here. How can I do that? That's yin and yang. That's not going to work. Oh. Wrong thought process. Yep. Hey, Denise. That was pretty dry. They hardly left anything on there. But there's the reverse. You can see the flower petals in there from the daisy one. Right? It really cleans everything off of there. So let us put these off to the side. You got a little yin-yang on your plate. So I was thinking, and that's a strain for me sometimes. I had an idea. Let's see if I can make it happen. So I'm going to put down just black. I love wearing black paint. It's the smoothest of all paints and covers the best. Right, there we go, black. And now I'm going to do the wide, what is this called? Wide stripes. How clever are you? Hey. Yep, two yings don't make a yang, right? Sandra, you made it! Yay! Well, mine always says it's recording. Now, whether it is or not, I don't know. But won't that? It says it's on. Now, hopefully it is. Won't that hack me off if it's not? Anyway, I'm going to pull this on deli. Just black stripes. I have an idea. Let's see if it's going to work. Right, pull this. How cute are you? Just black stripes. And let me pull a ghost of that while I'm at it. Oh, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to make some patina stripes. Well, the idea looks good in my head, Pam. How we end up on paper, completely different possibility, but I'm going to try it. There we go, little ghosty stripes. But now, my friends, I'm going to pull this off, clean off the back of this over here. All right, and now I want my green blue, a little bit. Gotta get used to using a little bit. And my green yellow PBO Dynacolors. And I'm going to try to get a patina print of this through the stripes. And we'll see how this works. That didn't have a whole lot of black paint on it, so I don't know if this is going to be as good as the other one or not. But it's a piece of paper, people. We're not going to fret too much about it. And again, just letting the weight of the brayer pull some of that off. See the stripes starting to come through there? Where you can see the pattern a little bit more clearly. All right. And now, I get my PBOs mostly at fineartstore.com. I think it's in Rochester, New York is where the brick and mortar store is, but it's Fine Art Store. Oh, hello, lover. I can't hate a patina print. I don't know. How do you think to pull the paint off? I don't know, Pam. I just thought one time I had like too much paint on there, and I thought, ooh, I wonder if I can lift any, and I just tried it, and it seems to come out a little bit more crisp when I do that. This could have used a little bit more black paint on there, and it had started to dry a little bit. So that's why it's not as juicy as, like, for instance, this one was, right? But it's still pretty cool. I'll take it. So now, what my thought was, how's that going to work, though? Let's try it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it, people. I'm thinking about putting down just, this is the green blue, and that's all I'm going to put down. And this is pretty translucent by itself. It needs something dark behind it to reflect, to get that really nice pop. But what I'm thinking, tell you what I'm thinking. I'm going to do the thin stripes this time. All right? I'm going to do the thin stripes. Now this is going to be tricky because I want to try to line this up, and I don't know if I can see through it enough to tell where this is going to go. But I want the thin stripes to line up on the wide stripes as closely as they'll go. And it probably won't be exact, but we'll see. So this is my idea, was trying to overlay these and let that thin layer of PBO streak down some of these black stripes and really pop off of that. Oh, hello, lover. Yes, it did. That's what was in my little pea brain. It worked. Yep, and you could do a plaid, and I've done that before with my other rectangular stencil. That's pretty cool. Now let's do, hang on, let's see, what do we have here? Let's grab this one, which was just the ghost. Patty, how does this series of pictographs compare in the size to the others? When you say this series, what do you mean? The round stencil itself? I just want to make sure you're talking about the stencils and not the stamps. So I have a bunch of different sizes of pictographs between the stamps and the stencils now. So my stamps are on my Etsy shop, which is Inky Obsessions, and they match back to my stencil design, so you can get that true mixed media layered kind of effect. I don't have any new stamps yet for this series of designs. There's that one. Kind of looks cool. But I will eventually. But here, let's see. This one's going to be smaller than the other pictographs. Let me see if I can find. Here's the much loved pictograph that's the 8x10. And then here's the new one. Right? So that's two different sizes there. Plus the 6x6 is this layout in a smaller version, but the size is kind of between these two. Is that what you were asking me? Trina, hey, welcome back. I'm so glad to see you up and around. I bet you feel great being home. The stencils, this round to the square. Yeah, okay. Alrighty. Let's keep plowing ahead, shall we? And let's just pick some random... Well, for this one, I think we should do some bright colors. So we're going to do a little of this. And a little of that. I'm trying to put bright, happy colors on here. To pull this little rascal. Called All Smiles. Hello, smiley face. Let's ghost this on something over here that I don't really have that much of an attachment to. I'm laughing at CB laughing at me. A little ghosted smiley on you. Oops. Come on now, work with me. There we go. Alrighty. Here's the reverse. I got a chuckle. What I was thinking. Alright, let me, this is going to be kind of an interesting pull. I'm going to pull this up, clean this off again. Actually, hold that thought. Do I want to do that? Yeah. So let me show you again why I like that open 5 stencil for cleaning up the plate but still breaking it up with some design. I like to use a big open design like that. Really get the old elbow grease in the cleanup prints. Hey, Jax. Welcome. So there's a sale coupon today, Jax, if you're, I think you're new here. Round 20 is the coupon code, and it gets you this at iStencils.com. Oh, look at all the layers in those cleanups. That's kind of cool. But see how you get the design and the design. Hey, Sonia. When you, you really don't have to get a round jelly plate, Sonia. You can use these on any jelly plate, really. Right? You don't need to, have a round one in particular. To be honest. That's a good idea, Jean. Jean was just saying, instead of buying an 8-inch round jelly plate, if you can't afford one or don't want to put the money out for it or don't know how much you'd use it, make a stencil. Basically cut an 8-inch round circle out of a piece of paper, a piece of Mylar, and then lay that over your 8x10 jelly plate so only the 8-inch circle is exposed. And then it's like you have one of these. Very clever, Jean. Okay, just cleaning that up a little bit. And, oh, I remembered, although you didn't remind me, I wanted to do this. This is the free exclusive design, guys, if you're just coming in. If you spend $25 and at least one of those stencils in your cart for $25 is one of my other designs, you'll get this one free. Plus, orders over 50 in the U.S. ship free. That's always their policy at iStencils. I didn't know if you guys knew. I didn't even know that. But that's the policy all the time there. $50 or more is free shipping within the U.S. Right? So this is what I thought about for this one. I'm going to take some Goldens, iridescent copper light. And some iridescent silver. Hey, Carrie Ann. Fine. Oh, get off of there. And I did a bunch of jelly prints on tissue a while back when I got on that metallic frenzy. And then I Daddy Van those puppies. Here's some. Right, I did these. This is actually stamped and embossed on tissue. Here's one. Sorry, here's one. Here's a piece of tissue that I did the pulled on the last go around. And that's silver and copper, and it makes like kind of a rose gold, which I loved. So I'm thinking some tissue paper and some rose gold dangles can't be bad. And then I'll Daddy Van those puppies. Use them in a collage coming up sometime. Alright, so, and I'm doing this on Dick Blick art tissue. And this art tissue, when you Daddy Van it, it goes away. It's like transparent. So all you see are your lovely designs when you collage with it. Ah, my paper moved. That's one of the drawbacks of using a real fine wispy paper. That bad boy will move on you. So we'll see. If it doesn't come out good, I'll just print some more on the other side. We don't cry over smeared stencils. Yeah, it's Sonia. It's art tissue, and it's kind of like any tissue paper that, you know, you're familiar with. I think it's finer and smoother. It's sturdier than it looks, but it feels very sheer and fragile. Yeah, see, that moved and I didn't get a great imprint. But you can see where I was going with it, right? See how that comes out kind of a rose gold? But that pretty much disappears. I'm going to pick this up on here just for giggles, just in case it's really cool and I can use parts of that. This again is the art tissue. See that, even that's kind of a ghostly little image, but pieces of that torn up in a collage would look kind of nice. Nice and nice. Let's put this down and just get some of this paint off of here. Oop, be careful, don't rip up your stencils. Shannon! Hello, my friend. Shannon Green, you had to by now, you had to hit 20,000 subscribers, did you not? It's awesome. I was so happy to see that for you. That's great. I just use silver and copper, Jean. Iridescent copper light, iridescent silver fine. And it comes out like a rose gold. Who knew? But now look at that little rascal there wanting me to clean it up. Yeah, Shannon, this release I did 8-inch rounds for the 8-inch jelly plate. Or, you know, as you know, you can use them for any jelly plate, any application you'd use any other stencil for. I just, with all the craze over the 8-inch round jelly plate, I thought, what the hey, let's do some round ones. And the sale code, right now the discount code is round 20 on iStencils, if anybody's interested. I don't know, Jean, and I don't know that I have it. Then I have, well, hang on. I have PBO silver. And I have PBO gold. I don't have the copper. Oh, wait. Yeah, I do. Do so. I'll try them for you and let you know. that's what I'm going to do, Pam. I'm going for black paper on this one. I'm just trying to figure out what color I want to put behind that, and I'm half tempted. That's a thinker on that one. Yeah, the code is good for anything on the iStencils website. And they have well over 3,000 designs. So yeah, how about that? So I'm trying to picture this. I do have black tissue. I do. Somewhere. I have black art tissue, actually. Look at you, you little rascal. I do have black art tissue. Now, but how do I want to pick that up on here? With black paint against that, so only the copper shows? That's what I'm thinking. You know, I'm thinking when I go into nail tapping mode, right? I think it's got to be black. At first I was thinking like blue-green PBO. Oh, the hell with it. More paint slinging and less talk. Let's go with black. Here we go. So now the black paint should go away on the black tissue, right? And just have the gold show? You think? We're gonna find out. Why are some of these art tissues bleeding? Oh, that's the kind that's got, I don't know how it works exactly, but there's some sort of pigment in the tissue, and when you wet it and with whatever wet medium you use, it bleeds out like kind of watercolory looking. Use black paint, might as well use white tissue. Well, that's true, Jean. Too late. Damn the lag. And actually, this tissue feels like it's, I don't know. This might be a problem. We may have to go into, well, the copper's going to be on top when I pull it, right? But this feels like this might even come apart, like it's not going to, oh no. Oh, it's working. Oh, I think this might be a good one. Hello, lover. Look at you. And it's got those crinkle marks in it from where it kind of puckered up. You can't hate that. You can try, but you cannot hate it. Okay, so Jean, let's try your colors here and see if they make that rosy gold. I will do a little experiment just for you. Copper, that's the PBO, and PBO silver. Hi-oh, silver. This copper right away, I can tell you, is a lot more orange than the Golden's copper. Let's grab the stencil. This one is Teardrop Doily. I can see it like a pinky, the pinky design on there. Looks kind of cool. Let's do this on tissue so you can kind of see it like it was on the other one. Oh, rats, I missed a Shannon Pooh story. Dad, burn it. Shannon's an excellent storyteller. I get more, I literally LOL when I'm reading some of her posts. And especially some of her responses to some of the nitwits that post on videos. Oh, Lord. It's kind of like sport, though. Oh, look at you, little yummy. It's a similar effect, Jean. It's a little pinkier. Right? But still kind of nice. All right, let's clean this up. Save me a poo story. Oh, bless your heart. In a good way. Yeah, it's a good substitute, Jean. You could definitely use that. There's the reverse. All right. All right, let's see what other stencils we got to do here. I want to try this one. Oh, I have the mask to do too. What time is it? 10 o'clock. It turn into a pumpkin here in a minute. Let's do this this dark ultramarine again with, I think I did blue-green with that. Let's try it with green-blue. Like, how bad could that possibly be? Not bad at all, I betcha. Thanks, Kate. Yeah, I am utterly shocked, Rain, that you ordered the mask too. I can hardly believe it. I'm going to pull out my 8x10 plate and do a couple pulls with the masks too, just to play with those. This one is the pyramid doily. And it's just a doily because it's round, I guess. What the hell do I know? I just try to name them. I do love jelly printing on deli paper, though. Gotta tell you. Let's see what we get here. Now that's not nearly as bright as the other one is it? There's still some PBO in there, but it's not as bright as the blue-green, which is interesting because that's usually the one that's really pops. It's still pretty though. Not saying it's not pretty. Nothing against those blue triangles. Just trying to clean that out. Get a little pull on that because I want this clean. You probably can't see it on camera, but there's a lot of little streaks of copper through some of these, like this one right here. I don't know if that'll show up or not. This camera's not great close up. I wish I could zoom like I do on my video camera. All right, let's try something different here. I'm just getting that paint off of there is all I'm doing there. But let's add a little copper on here. and see what'll come through the holes of this, kind of like a reverse kind of patina print thing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? No, that's going to be too sheer. It's lifting too much paint. Well, you don't know till you try, right? No, I have that app, but it's not as clear really close up. I can zoom and get real tight down here, Jean. But when I want this, when I want the camera at this distance, but be able to reach up and show you something close to focus. Jim! Hello, my friend. How have you been? I've missed you here. Wine Country Man, that's my buddy Jim from Napa. The code, Jim, if you're interested, is round 20, and it's the same deal as always. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of a mishmash of things and interesting colors, and I can't say it's my favorite, but I can't say that I hate it either. So, let's see. Let's do a couple more here. All right. Let's just... This is Deep Violet. Ooh, it's a lot of Deep Violet right there. And, maybe? No. Not right. Let's try this. Light Blue Permanent. It's one of Paula's favorites. Favorites. Uh-oh. What is this saying? Oh, a new Java version. No, remind me later. Don't interrupt me now, computer. Patty, you know, I have no mad money. And now I'm mad. Need money. Jamie. Oh, God. You're a mess, girl. That violet kind of ate up that blue, didn't it? That's okay. There we go. Cold hands, warm heart. Alright, let's pull this bad boy on some deli. Because I can. Plus deli, when I get so many prints, it's easier to store. I've got a stack. I'm not kidding you. It's probably this high of cardstock jelly prints. Once you get on a roll, it's hard to stop. It is addicting. Oh, that's kind of interesting play on colors and design. A little Saturn-ish. Got another ghost. Let's try that. That it was a pretty combination, wasn't it? That was the Deep Violet and Light Blue Permanent. Both Liquitex Basics. Look how that deli, see how that texture comes out in that paper with, it looks like little wrinkles all through it? Sometimes it puckers when it hits that paint a little bit. Alright, let's grab you. Yeah, we got a little boo-boo on there. still pulling up copper through there. That's I love that about the jelly plate, how it just keeps giving these little hidden little nuggets that you don't expect to be in there still. But they're there. Patti Paula sent me some bits and pieces of her jelly prints, and then when she was, what was a perfect impression of your name from the edge of one of your stencils? Cool. I didn't have a stroke. I'm trying to catch up on the chat here a little bit while I warm my hands. She's a little cold down here. It was supposed to get up in the 50s, and they changed the weather forecast. And I think tomorrow it's going to be like in the 20s. Like, what the hell up with that? All right, I like that color combination. Let's try a wee bit of that. And a wee bit of this blue again. And what else? What third color can I put in there that would be interesting? Maybe. Nope. 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 Well, maybe not. Nope. Ooh, I don't know. That green might make that red in there go a little funky, but let's try it. You're seeing 55 Saturday, Sandra? We looked at the weather earlier on the app on our phone, and it was I think 21 on Saturday, which just seems rude. Damn groundhog! You can never trust them. All right, this is a round version of the dot maze. Just something fun and funky and geometric. Let's try this one on cardstock. Oops. Did you see me do that? Oh, I didn't get any on there though. I thought I schmutzed it right off the bat. 80 last weekend. Whew. Now you're getting up to where it's just borderline of me not being comfortable. But you don't get too much humidity there, do you, Jim? Forgot what stencil. Oh, the dot maze. I was going to say, I forgot what the hell I got underneath here. I'm trying to figure out where to rub it. No, yeah, see, then I could do 80. When you get humid in 80, ooh, big girl's going to check out of that one. Oh, that color combination's kind of cool. Now, I did schmutz it a little bit. You can see it's not real crisp, but the color combination is really kind of cool. I like that. I'm going to grab a quick ghost on some deli before that gets too dry. There, I'm getting a little bit. Hey, Katie. Thanks for dropping in. So anybody just coming in, if you're interested in the coupon code, it is round 20. Same deal as usual. I hate to keep repeating that what it is. So if anybody needs to know more details, if you can't make out what this says, let me know and I'll be glad to fill you in. Oh, see it picking up those little bits of copper still? Let me see if I can get it to flash. There you go. Isn't that something? How many polls ago was that? And it's still little bits of that creeping off of the plate. That's why I love my jelly plate. they usually ship pretty quick, Jim. They cut each order as it's ordered. The stencil gets cut just for that order and shipped out, but they usually ship really quick. They ship quicker than some companies that have stock laying there that they pick from. DigiSuze, hi. Welcome. Oh, thanks. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. There's the reverse of that. That's going to be kind of an interesting cleanup print. Which, you know what? Let's do it through the hearts. Let's try it with the hearts. I'm going to do a little tighten buff. And go with the hearts. And let's try this one on Deli. You can already see some design through there without even knowing what colors or whatever. It's nice on Deli. I should have pulled that on black. Wouldn't that have been cool on black? But look at that. See what I mean about doing a cleanup through a stencil? How you get some really cool patterns. But you could cut these little hearts out and collage with those. And it's still pulling copper out of there. Isn't that crazy? I like it. I like it. Oh, this ought to be pretty good. This kind of reminds me of like a Dutch hex sign or something. No, I don't really, Jim. I just kind of start playing around and come up with stuff, and when I usually get it going, I get quite a few of them in a couple settings. But actually tonight we stopped on the way home. We stopped at a restaurant, and the ceiling, I actually took a picture of the ceiling, which I do often. Then when I see something, I think, oh, that would make a cool stencil. And it had this, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, it had this grate over top. The ceiling was blue, then it had this metal grate that hung down, and it had that open design. It was just kind of very organic, and I thought that'd make a cool stencil. But it kind of reminds me of some of my tribal ones. Well, I can't Daddy Van it on Deli. It just resists the Daddy Van. If this was on tissue, I could. But Daddy Vans on Deli, not so much. At least on the Deli I have, it completely resists it, and it just lays like oily stuff on top of it. But tissue, that's some good stuff. And here's the little pinwheel of the reverse of that. That's kind of cute. Groovy. So, well, you know what? It wouldn't be right to switch up and not pull my pictographs. So let's do a little pop on my pictographs. See how easy that black goes down? I love it. Let's grab a tissue here that's already done. I'm going to go over this one with some little black pictographs, and I'm putting them on upside down, which to most people you really wouldn't know upside down from right side backwards, but I know how I meant them to be, so I know. Night, Sandra. Thanks for stopping by. Now let's see if I can get that lined up somewhat. And let's get a little pop of black on here, which you know that's how I like to layer my pulls. And I had to make this one so that it cut off some of the designs, just like my rubber stamp in the Pictographs, the round one, so that it looks as though it's a circle, which is what I meant it to look like. Travis, hi. Oh, look at you. Oh, I don't know why they just speak to me. Hello, lover. I love me some Pictographs. I really, 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 really do. I could see you going into a collage. Just cut you all out and just smack you down on something. Yes, I do. Let me ghost this onto something else. Let's see if I get anything on here. Start yapping too much and the paint dries in those little holes. Thanks, Colleen. I don't know why I put Pictographs on everything. Oh, speaking of, thanks, Rain. The painted shoes, don't do that yet until I perfect it. I wore them the other day, and then I wore them today to work, and with the movement and the leather bending a little bit, it's starting to crack and peel. And that's good usually in mixed media, but not on shoes. Oh, that's cool, Travis. I mean, I'm sorry to spend more of your money, but if you must have a round jelly plate. Oh yeah, the Pictos and the pyramid. That was kind of cool, wasn't it? All right, since I got this pretty clean, I'm going to try to do a little patina print on this bad boy. So let me put this here. Oops. Get some of the paint off of there. And give me some green yellow PBO. Everybody that I saw me in the shoes stopped me, asked me for a business card and would I paint theirs. People at work really liked them. And yes, Jen, I am tomorrow at 5. But I told them, I said, sure, I'll paint them for you if you want me to, but I can't guarantee you, you know, how they're going to hold up and wear. Well, lo and behold, a day later, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take somebody's $130 shoes and paint on them until I figure that out. Oops, look what I just did. Oh, but that's still pretty. So now, again, I'm just going to let the weight of the brayer lift some of that off. Right? See the design coming through better? Right? I'm going to do that in deli in case it's fabulous. Woo! But I might have just should have like sanded the leather. But I need to come up with like a paint that's got a little more flex to it, I guess. Patty, so you don't clean your stencil? You know what? I never have, Jim. I just try to blot most of the wet, like this one's still a little bit wet actually now that I'm looking at it. I try to blot off whatever comes off, and the rest of that's dry. I've had a really old stencil that I had used and used and used and used, and it got kind of thick, and I did wipe that off because it was starting to affect the design a little bit. But I mean, it was boogered up. Like even this old Pictograph, I mean, I have spray painted and molding paste, and Lord knows how many pull that thing has seen, and I have not wiped it off, and it's still working good. Patty, add textile medium to the paint next time. Should keep it more flexible and prep the shoes first. Oh, textile medium. Oh, maybe so. Yeah, I'm not. Now I know that Zandra uses Murphy's oil soap and drops her stencils in them, and the paint. Paula's done it too. The paint, after they sit in there a while, it just sloughs right off the stencil back to brand new clean. But it doesn't bother me to have. I'm a dirty girl, like Julie Faye Balzer says. Oh, well, you can't hate that. It's not as much black on there as I like to, because that makes it pop more, but it's still kind of cool. And you can see the hearts. See the shadows of the hearts around there? I love you little pictographs, you little rascals. So before it gets too late and I get too dense, I want to switch up. I'm going to stick this on here. I was going to maybe do some on some fabric. I'll do that tomorrow maybe. And use this. This is an 8x10 cheapo picture frame that usually comes on a stand like this at Michael's for a couple bucks. But it's 8 inches, so guess what? It is my stamping plate for using your jelly plate as a stamp. So you basically lay your fabric out, right? Lay your stencil on your fabric, go brayer up your plate, and then use it as a stamp and stamp through the stencil. We'll do that tomorrow, perhaps. But what I want to do is get this out here, and look at this pitiful thing. Bless its heart. You've seen better days, haven't you, honey? I am going to, let's do something crazy. I'm going all PBOs here. And you know what I'm even going to do? Am I? I am, because mixing this orange yellow in, I know you're going to get brown, but I know that, and that's what I want to do, because it gets like a bronzy brass color-ish when it blends. So these are all PBO paints, right? And they're kind of clear. They're kind of translucent. This might not have been a great combination after all for what I had in mind. But anyway, I wanted to show you the new masks. So here's the one called Create, right? And I'm going to put this face down and in the center of this plate, so the edges are going to show and give you design from around the edges as well, right? That's the difference between a mask and a stencil. So I'm going to pull this on black. Luminaire and Angelus have acrylic paints for leather. Ooh! Woohoo! It's the, I think, more the movement than the fact that they were on leather that gave me the problem. So I want to get all these edges really well, because it's got designs all the way around here. Let's see what we get. Hello, lover. Look at you. See what I mean? How that, with the orange in there, it just kind of gets brassy bronzy in the mix. And see how you have all the, the different edge of the designs all comes out. Kind of cool. All right, now let's try. Let's pull this, get the reverse there, and I'm just going to clean this off on the back of this. Thanks, Tam, Colleen, CB. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, this has a lot of little pointy bits on here and these little letters and stuff. So I'm not really rubbing it because I don't want to catch any of that and bend it. They're pretty sturdy, but I don't want to be stupid about it. Oh, look at you. How cute are you? Now, why would I wipe that off, Jim? So there's the cleanup. And there's another. That would be cool just to put that on a journal page to start with. Me likey. I like your little mask. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I cut these out. Now, this, when you receive these, if you order them, this is what they're going to look like. They're going to come out on the full 8x10 size with the border around it. And you just go in with some real sharp scissors and just cut, you know, along the edges all the way around. This one right here, this piece, I cut a triangle into the border here so it would not just be flat where the other ones were pointed. You know what I mean? I cut down into here a little bit. Right? And then this one has a lot of little tags holding up these poppies. And I cut those off, so I just have the poppy head sticking out there. These little tabs here get cut off, so you just see the drippage. And then I cut off just this tab here on the circles. I'll show you that one. But, or you can leave them like this and use them like this. Right? You don't have to, yeah, I'm going to show the other one too, Tim. You don't have to pull them apart like that. I just like the look of having that, the edge of the design show through. That's just me. But that's what a mask is. Right? Oh, I was going to say, where the hell did I put the other one? It's right here in front of my face. So this one, let's do another one on black. That was fun. Oh. Hang on. Hold that thought. Here's one I haven't used yet. Violet blue PBO. Hello. That's the paint, not the artist. Patti does iStencils take PayPal. Gosh, you know what, Jamie? I don't know the answer to that. Oh, thank you, CB. I was going to say I would assume they do, but I can't. It's been so long since. Oh, ooh, that's way too much. Since I placed an order, because I mean they send me all these, right? So, green, blue, or blue, green. Green, blue, or blue, green. Doesn't matter. We use blue, green. Green, blue. I don't know. This could come out a big old mess, but we're going to find out. Or it could come out really, really cool. Stand by for the outcome. Way too much paint, Patti. Way, way, way. Okay, I'm going to turn it upside down so art comes out right. But see, here's what it looks like once you trim all the border off. So I'm going to put that down in the middle-ish. A lot of that. And I'm going to, I'm going to do this on black again. Patti's such a sad thing. Yeah. It's true, Jim. It's a very sad situation. Oh, pretty soon it's going to be on the website. Jody Ohl, you guys probably know Jody Ohl. She and two artist friends opened a studio called Creative Studio NC for North Carolina in Vass, North Carolina. I'm going to teach there on April 2nd. How cool is that? It's not up on their website yet, but it will be soon. They were working on the verbiage to describe the project and all that good stuff. Alright, let's see what we got here. Whoa, look at that color. Hello, Mama. Look at you. Sparkle pants. I like how the poppies come out kind of like reverse here. This painted and here this is black on the top. That's kind of cool. Let's see. I'm going to pick this up without mixing up the paint underneath of it. See how clear that is on the plate? When you get that dark behind it, like black paint or black paper, that's when it gets that reflective properties going on those PBO Dynacolors and really talks to me. And these, instead of rubbing, because of all these little bits around here, I just press those more. What you can do is put a piece of paper over it and then rub the hell out of it if you want to. I'm not smart enough to remember that. Kind of had up. Night, Pamela. Thanks for joining. So you can do that, right? And get a little good rubbation on there. New word, made it up. There's that. Oh wow, look at that. It pulled up all the bits from the one before it. See all that goldy, bronzy kind of stuff in there? But you can't hate it, people. You just can't. Stream is frozen again. Ah, sorry, Robin. We've been having a lot of issues with Ustream. Hey, Marion. We've been having a lot of issues with Ustream lately. Thank you, Ustream, for being free. That's what we like to say. But, ooh, it can be frustrating sometimes. Paula's been having a fit with it and trying way harder than I would ever dream of. Bless her heart. Okay, I got one more over here of the rounds to show you. And let's do... Did you end up using green blue? Yeah, I used green blue and violet blue. There's my heater. Whew, when's a hot flash when I need one? Mama. Ooh, that feels good. Let's see. Let's do... Oh, hang on, I gotta switch out my plate. So I just wanted to show you those two on the rectangular one. And now let me put this... That acetate's seen better days, let me tell you. Oh, ask away, Rain. That's why I'm here. Hip you if you can. Where the hell? Here it is. Let's see, where the hell did I put that? There we go. Alright, let's put some, I got some orange, maybe. Orange yellow Dynacolor. And let's do fluorescent pink. And yellow, maybe a little more of this yellow again. There we go. Gotta remember back on a smaller plate again. Oh, I got a little bubble in there. There we go. Alright, here's this one. I want to sing the Beatles Come Together every time I see this one because that's the name of it. Come together right now. You don't want me to sing. Trust me. I would love to be a singer. Can't do it. How do the round ones fit the 8x10? I show you. Oh, you're cute. Look at you. See that little PBO flash in there? Yes, yes, yes. This, I'm just going to pick up this ghost on this dirty piece of paper. A little ghosteroo. And then, let's pick this up. So over the weekend, I'm going to be stenciling. Well, I am. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow at 5 p.m., Saturday morning at 10 a.m., and Sunday at noon. I want to try to keep the demos going. So I'll be here playing with these over the weekend. Please do stop back and join me. Keep me company if you have the time and inclination. And otherwise I'll just be sitting here talking to myself, which is, yeah, you know, until I start talking about you. But I'm going to do other stuff with them over the weekend. I'm going to do some with alcohol ink on some Yupo, and maybe with some molding paste on a canvas and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to clean this print up and get ready to wrap it up and call it a night because Mama getting tired. So what do I want to clean this up with? A little bit of you. I kind of hate to stop. I'm kind of on a roll, but I got to work tomorrow. That's why I'm not streaming until 5. I'll be working from home tomorrow, which is great that I get to do that. And this one I'm not going to put a stencil down because then I still have more stuff on the plate. So this one I'm just going to do a full up cleanup print to try to clean the plate off for the night. What did you say you're going to do with alcohol ink? Oh, I put a stencil down on Yupo or Terraskin paper, and then squirt some alcohol inks in the holes, which are going to immediately bleed under the stencil, but it still gives you the, it still holds the true color. Hang on, I'm trying to find what safe place I put those samples. They come out pretty cool, actually. Here we go. Here's some other ones I did before. Like that's alcohol on Terraskin through one of my, I think the cave etching stencil. And see, it all bleeds underneath, but it kind of waters out, but it holds. You let the stencil lay there and you let it dry. Which day did I, oh, I don't know when I'll, you mean which day am I going to do this? Helena? Don't really have a day planned for what I'm going to do. I just kind of wing it every day. I'll probably do it tomorrow since it's in my head. But these are just different examples of alcohol inks through a stencil. I love this one. That's the poppies, but look how that bled out and almost made a frame around where the stencil laid on it. Isn't that cool? I really like that one. Oh, you have Terraskin, Jean? It's really funky, cool stuff, isn't it? It's made from rocks. How the hell do you make paper from rocks? Here's one. That was on the large dangle stencil. And this is the orbs. Right? Not wild at how this one came out. It was a little dreary for me. Iron Gate. Pictographs. No way. I did a few of those. Here's one for Jean. Pictographs in green. And then here's another Poppy because I couldn't just have one because I thought it came out so cool. But isn't that a fun, artsy, blurry kind of... This one I'm not wild about because the gold, when you see the gold like that, and where it's not shining, hang on, like that it's not bad, but when you really see where it is, it was too opaque and kind of gets out of the lines, and I wasn't wild about that. And this one kind of did the same thing, but the gold was all at the top, and that made it okay. Right? These are just other alcohol ink stuff that I did in a class in Virginia Beach a couple of years ago. They're fun. Where did you get it, Jean? Did you get it off of Amazon? So anyway, that's what I'm going to do with either the Yupo or Terraskin. Probably both. Oh crap! I got this on here still. Yeah, you spray it lightly with alcohol, the paper, the blank paper, then lay the clean stencil on it, and that kind of like sucks it down onto the paper to lessen the amount of gap, and then you just drip alcohol inks in the holes of the stencil, and then set it aside 15 or 20 minutes and let it just dry. It's nice. Oh, that's cleaning my plate perfectly. Clean plate. It's just a little mishmash of a cleanup, but there you have it. All right, kids. I'm going to, I'll show you what prints we got today for those that weren't here when they saw some of the stencils demoed. Let me put this over here so I don't have everything stuck to my jelly plate. Because I do it all the time. Okay, let's just go back. So here we go. Here's the masks. Here's the create one. Right, so the positive and negative, right? And then a little Pictograph patina. Yeah, I think any alcohol will work, Jean. I think it's just a matter of wetting it, but not putting water on it. Patty, do you have a recorded video of that with the alcohol inks? I do, Trina. It's somewhere on YouTube, but I could not tell you what it's mixed in with. It would have probably been one of the iStencil releases where I was playing with the new designs. But which one and where in that 3 hours, I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. So there's some, that was just a ghost of the Pictographs over top of that one. That was Jean's experiment of colors. Here's the hearts. Really should have pulled that on black. But it's okay. That's okay. Little dot maze. Arches. That's a mishmash of, I don't know. Not wild about that. This was just a something I was cleaning up with. That's not much. Here's a cleanup print through the 5 design. Right? Oops. 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 Mr. Smiley Pants there. Positive and negative. And here are, this one was the stripes on stripes. I have a wide stripe and a narrow stripe design. Here's the one I was, where I did the black stripes in the wide, and then I laid the thin stripes over it with PBO, the green blue. See where it's catching that? There you go. I like that one. And here I did a patina with the wide stripes. Thanks for coming, Jamie. And here's a yummy patina in the teardrop design. Hello, lover. Oh my God, hot flash. This has to go. Woo, mama. Whew. Can't strike a happy medium. That was the daisy thing. Oh, here's the one where I mixed the PBO blue-green. No, sorry. PBO green-blue with black paint. Remember that one? That's cool. I like the look of that mixture. And then the large dangle reverse print where I was cleaning off the plate. Here's the icy spots with the dangles over it. And some of these are just kind of sloppy where I was just trying to show the print. With the hearts, you could put it on black paper. Black paper would show through. Would that work? I would cut those out and just put them down on something black probably. It wouldn't show through the deli enough to give it as much contrast, if that's what you mean, to layer it. Here's the first full of that PBO with the... That's just yummy. I like that. And this is just cleaning off my stencils. Here's the freebie design in the orange in the background. That's the free stencil design. And the large one over it. Here's the... I think this one came out cool. This was the orange on here was the cleanup off the stencil of the freebie one. And then I took the PBO blue-green and that dark ultramarine blue and mixed those colors. Look how flashy that one is. That looks like some kind of a summer sundial thing. And then this was the PBO. These are the helping hand stencil. I got to take a picture and show this to Barb. I'm going to sit that on the side. And here was a cleanup print with the 5 stencil. The 5, I just call it 5 because there's 5 blobs. And lollipops. These are just a mishmash of stuff. Here's the dot maze. And this one. This is a good one. The pictographs over the little triangles with the PBOs in there. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jean. Glad you could join us. You have to come down the street and hang out with me sometime. Jean, homeschool Jean, she lives 1 street over from me. And we met via me doing this on the internet. So that's just, these are just cleanups. That's the reverse of the hand deal. What else? What else? Was there more? That might be it. Oh, I wanted to show you guys. Remember the other night when I was trying to do dropping down the primary elements on a dry brush, the dry pigment, dropping it through a stencil, and then spraying it with a fixative? Well, it finally dried, and it's not bad. Now this one, it was way too much fixative and it ran, but there's a lot of shimmer in there, and it doesn't really look that bad. It's kind of cool looking. But this one came out a lot more, I used a lot less liquid, so it came out, oh, look at that. The copper's not fixed, and it's just smearing around. Okay, not a good idea. Look what I just did. Okay, so much for that being a great idea. Needed more fixative over top of it, apparently. But, I still like the shimmer on it up here where it's blurred. Anywho, there you go. So, thanks for hanging with me, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm calling it a night. And, I'll be back here at 5 p.m. on Friday, signing off with the code Good through Monday night the 22nd. 20% off the entire iStencils site. Buy at least one of mine and spend $25 and get a free 8-inch round exclusive design. And if you spend $50 or more, you get free shipping if you're in the US. Can't beat that with a stick, people. All right. Buy them while you can get them. If you want them. If you don't want them, that's cool too. Thanks a lot, guys, for sticking with me. I appreciate it. Bye.